So the question is, what's my favorite DevOps consulting outcome? And I really have to go to actually one of my favorite and longest customers. They were building a piece of software. I'm going to try and not name them, but they'll know who they are when I'm talking about them. They were building a piece of software that was massive, multi-billion-dollar product. So ultimately, leadership didn't care about efficiency so much, right? When your profit margin is in the $4 to $5 billion and you've only got 650 people working on it, your answer to a lot of problems might be, can't we just hire a bunch of people to solve that, right? Which is not always the best way to solve a problem. And we were in the position that it was a very fragmented product. So there was 80 to 90 teams working in 13 locations in 9 different countries. They all did their own thing. So each team picked their own source control system, ran their own source control system locally. There was everything you could possibly imagine. There was Git, but not very much of it. There was Team Foundation version control. There was Subversion. Oh, there was just everything. There was even a source control system that they built themselves, right? Because when they started building this product, there were no good source control systems out there. And they still had people in the company using their homegrown source control system. Lots of fun. And in order to build this product, because it was one product that was deployed to a machine, right? So you've got not one executable, but I'm old, right? It was burned onto a CD, and then that's your install, right? So it's one install for your product. In order to get that to exist, they had to run a bunch of builds to go pull that code from all the different locations, right? Pull it into some central location, then actually do all of the builds that they needed to do. And that was hugely complicated because every team did different stuff, right? So you had different tools, different capabilities. It was a multi-hour fandangle to go do it. And what they ended up having to do was about 10,000 builds a day in order to create one working version of the product. So they had a set of between 20 and 40 build servers that all, in order to build this product, had to be the most unbelievably powerful machines you could possibly imagine. As many cores as you could possibly fit, as much memory as you could possibly fit. It was just a monolithic product. And it 10,000 builds a day to have a nightly build of the product, which needed a team of people to run this. So I started working with them. That was the state they were in kind of when I started working with them. And my overriding advice was, you need to simplify this process. You need to make it easier, faster, slick, because it's just too hard to find out something's wrong, to find out you've broken something, and one team breaks another team, right? All of those things. So I did a state of Agile, state of DevOps report for them, which is basically how did I phrase it? Here are the opportunities for improvement, right? That you have in your system, and if you only fix 3 things, here's the top 3 things, right? And the top one was that build problem. Get them all into one source control system, one set of builds, those kind of things. And that effort, because they've got to go do it, right? I'm the consultant. I'm there to help them do it, and I also help them with a whole bunch of other stuff as well, right? But day to day, they're the ones that have got to go do it. I don't understand their code. I don't know where all the bodies are buried and who they need to politically talk to in their company to get stuff done. They need to go do all of that. So I was there to a little bit of coaching, mostly consulting on other stuff while they're doing that, and then coming back around and having discussions and being part of me, all that kind of stuff. And it actually took, and this was a record in this company, 4 years. to get them onto one source control system, which was Team Foundation. We got them all into Azure DevOps. One source control system, all on Team Foundation version control, everything on one set of branches, and everybody working in the same area. So they'd be able to clone the same what was it called? Create the same workspace in TFVC, and all work together and not poop on each other. Still had lots of branches, still had 80 to 90 active branches, but at least they were all related to each other and you could do the branching and merging properly and all of that kind of stuff. And but that was the first stage to getting them onto getting them over onto Git, optimizing their processes, doing all of the other things that need to happen in order to have there's a phrase, I love it, it's called 1ES. If you've not heard this phrase, one engineering system, it's from, first time I heard it was from Microsoft. And their 1ES strategy is part of the reason that Azure DevOps exists in the first place and that it's a cloud platform. And that's that they had this problem internally and they wanted to, you don't want a person who works for you to go work from one team and they move to another team and suddenly they have to refigure out how everything works. They have to refigure out where to store their work items. They have to, where all the work requests are, how they build their code, where they build their code, where the code comes from. All of that stuff shouldn't be, that should be like, that's the default stuff that we all understand. And then the actual build that happens is different for every product and every platform, but it's in the same place, right? Between those lines is different. But the wrapper, the how you get it to done, how what you need to install, all of those things should be part of the organizational standards. And that's what one engineering system was all about, was getting everybody onto one platform, everybody onto one, not way of working, that's the wrong phrase, but one engineering system that can do all of the things that everybody in the company need it to do so that nobody's confused about where their crap is and where they need to go change stuff and do stuff and collaborate with each other. And that was the ethos of Azure DevOps, and it met it absolutely fantastically, which is why I love that tool. That is my go-to tool is Azure DevOps, although I use other tools as well. But just that vision from Sam Guggenheimer of that one engineering system, of that ALM DevOps experience is just phenomenal. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, follow and subscribe. I always reply to comments, and if you want to have a chat about this or anything else Agile, Scrum or DevOps, then please book a coffee with me through NKD Agility.